your only all-local morning news. Fox 2 News Morning starts now.
Good morning, I'm Dana Whyte. 2 people are shot outside a Citgo gas station in Detroit. One of the victims is a 69-year-old woman, the other a 23-year-old man. Cracked floors, shaky steps, and uneven cabinets. One woman moved into this home looking for the American dream, but clearly that's not the case. Hello everyone, I'm Dana Whyte, and this is a new Central 34 Netcast. It is the eve of Election Day, and both candidates are still campaigning here in our Mitten State. A man was caught on camera forcing a child to steal candy from this local gas station, and now the owner is putting up a $500 reward to catch this bad guy. When Lamont is on campus, he usually speaks in front of classrooms like this one, but the biggest way he reaches his audience is right here. Living in Michigan, many drivers get frustrated seeing construction on the side of the road. Ever since the city of Flint switched over to this river, it has caused a burden on so many residents, but they are finally happy to get some input from the state. A 23-year-old man from Durand was stabbed here at Deerfield Apartments in Mount Pleasant this past Sunday. Police are still searching for the suspect, but without the help of one CMU student, they may have had a harder time. It was just a normal night for CMU junior Justin Metropolis until
all of a sudden people outside started screaming. So we all went outside and there was a kid running around with holding his underneath his rib cage.
The victim suffered from a stab wound to the abdomen with possible internal organ damage.
Everyone was like, "Don't call the cops. People call the cops. Nobody call the cops." It was kind of back and forth, and they didn't want the cops called.
Metropolis followed his gut and did call police, but his efforts didn't stop there.
I was so scared. I was shocked. The
incident happened outside of a party just after midnight. After the stabbing, Metropolis tried to calm the victim down.
We need to lay you on the ground. We'll get pressure. 911's on the way. And as soon as he heard 911, and the sirens kind of pulled the corner right when I said 911. So he saw that and just kind of ran.
About an hour later, police found the victim behind another apartment building.
We were able to locate the victim, who had a stab wound in his abdomen and was bleeding. He was obviously transported right to the hospital.
Even though Metropolis has never been through something like this before, he knows what he did was right.
I had to do talk to 911, and that's a different thing to do. You don't do that every day.
The suspect fled the scene wearing a dark blue button-up shirt, and police asked that if you saw anything, to call the Isabella County Sheriff's Office right away. In Mount Pleasant, Dana Whyte, News Central 34.
Jesus said, it's not what goes into the mouth and comes out, you know what I said before? But it goes with the eyes and the ears and goes into the heart.
For 24 years, Preacher Rick has been coming to CMU to share his beliefs on abortion and the LGBTQ community. But today, CMU junior Brent Gunn has had enough.
I'm fine with religious organizations coming on trying to spread a positive message and get people involved in their faith, but this isn't that.
Gunn believes that speaking up is important for the campus to do.
We've had some people come by and be like, why are you even talking to him? We're talking to him because if you don't address oppressive forces, the oppressive forces are going to continue.
Preacher Rick thinks that students are causing their own problems and he has nothing to do with it.
I believe that students are walking on a Titanic and Jesus Christ is a true lifeboat.
Even though some students like Gunn take offense to what Preacher Rick says, he claims that he's only focused on spreading the truth.
I have no hatred towards anybody on this campus, whether gay, whether they aborted a baby. I'm just trying to give them the truth.
Although Gunn doesn't like this situation, he's glad that CMU is coming together to fight.
It makes me sad, but it also makes me really hopeful that there's a bunch of people, straight, gay, black, white, of every persuasion out here challenging this.
In Mount Pleasant, Dana Whyte, News Central 34. With Hispanic Heritage Month in full swing, people are celebrating all around the country. But one student here at CMU says the campus needs to say less and do more.
It's kind of hard. I like speaking Spanish and I like listening to my music, and it's not that I can't, but it's different.
CMU senior Emily Javier has been on campus for 2 years, and in that time, she doesn't feel like CMU has made enough effort for her to feel comfortable in expressing her culture.
There haven't been really many chances for me to be like, yeah, I'm Hispanic.
Javier feels that only certain offices are putting in work and not the university as a whole.
I don't think that they do much of anything, and even having those cultural months, it's the mass office and stuff like that set it up. So CMU as a whole isn't really aware of what's even going on.
Jonathan Glenn works in the Office of Multicultural Academic Student Services, and although his job focuses on inclusion and diversity, there are limits in just how much he can do.
Of course, I try my best to be, help as much as I can, but no matter how much I help, I'm still not Hispanic.
According to Central Michigan records for the fall 2016 semester, 77% of the student population identified as white. leaving only 8% African American students, and that leaves only 4% Latino. Assistant Director of Multicultural Recruitment Patricia Young went to CMU herself and understands the struggle.
It does give you an inner struggle because you don't feel like you belong. When you have a very few students on campus or faculty and staff who can relate to your experiences, you do have that feeling of isolation.
Javier believes that although there is a small number of Latinos on campus, that doesn't mean that they're not there.
They want minorities here, but they're not doing much to make them feel welcomed. Like, the minorities themselves have to go out of their way to find things and like make this feel like a home, and it shouldn't be like that.
In Mount Pleasant, Dana Whyte, News Central 34.